Hello, and welcome to the Of Myths and Men podcast, the only podcast to get consistently confused with the 5 Live football phone-in contest, or whatever it's called. I am your host, Adam Holcomb, and I am joined today by co-host Dylan Blumenberg.
Adam, I just want to wish all our listeners Happy New Year, and also you.
Thank you. This is technically going to be releasing on the 7th, but better late than never.
Yeah.
And we are happy to have special guest Valya Chohodar with us today.
I also want to wish everyone a Happy New Year last week, but if you're listening to this earlier, Happy New Year upcoming. Or if you're listening to this at end of 2019, Happy New Year.
If you are listening to this on the 31st of any year, Happy New Year from us.
If you're listening to this at the 31st of any month except February, because that's not even a real month, Happy New Month. And just have a great one.
There's several months that don't have 31 days.
It's fine.
Happy New Second. Let's keep going.
Our podcast brings together 3 unknowledgeable, obviously, individuals who spend a day pretending to be experts on mythology. Each week, we will discuss a different god or creature, rotating out the lead mythologist. We will discuss its habits. What?
Who do we got this week?
We will discuss its habits, its attitudes, we will tell a tale, and we will end on a debate on who would win in a mythological fight club. And today's lead mythologist will be Valya.
So, let me run through these bricks straight away and ask you a question. I'm gonna start with Adam. What kind of shoes you rocking there, guy?
I don't like where this is going.
Sandals, but they have platform heels, and I wear socks with them all the time.
What's the brand? What brand of sandals?
a.k.a.
Damn it, never mind.
Is this a Nike?
Dylan, what kind of shoes you wearing there, guy?
Well, I'm not wearing shoes right now, but Nikes.
What kind of shoes were you wearing?
Nikes.
Nikes? Well, that's good, because the creature we're going to talk about today is Kratos.
Whoa.
Nope, kidding. We're going to talk about Nike, the goddess.
Dude, they make good shoes. I don't know if I'd call them goddesses, but...
Well, did you see that misdirect I did?
That was pretty good.
Got me good.
What type of sandals, though, Adam, for real? You say Adidas?
No, a.k.a.
a.k.a.?
a.k.a.
That's another god, isn't it?
I think so. Anywho, Nike was the sister to Kratos, Bia, and Zelus. So that's where I brought
what was
Kratos
the last
in a little
one?
bit. Zelus?
Zelus?
Yeah. You heard of him or her?
No.
I don't know if male or female.
You don't want to assume their gender. This is 2019, for Christ's sake.
That's a good point. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be caught in one of those things.
Yeah.
Caught in that web. So her most famous quote, this was said to her mom, was, "Come sail away with me." With
really?
Her mom is Styx, and her dad is Pallas.
No kidding.
So,
no
yeah.
shit.
Yeah. What? No shit on what?
I heard they're playing live. Styx and a.k.a.
Palace? And a.k.a.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nike was the goddess of victory, speed, logos, ethics, child workforces, no one caring about child workforces and buying the product anyway, but mostly the victory part. She was kind of the head sail on that. She's most commonly seen just as a lady, just a female, human looking lady god with wings. And this is when she's on her own. She's depicted with wings. When she's with other gods, so she's actually sort of the right-hand person to Zeus most often, because she often backs up Hermes as messenger, as well as other tasks, but she's often seen with Zeus. When that's the case, she doesn't actually have wings on.
Where do they go?
So, would you mind letting me explain that? I was going to continue talking, and then you...
Does she put them in her closet?
You asked the exact question I was going to answer.
Is her closet too big if it can hold her wings? I'm sorry. Go on.
How many pairs of shoes
closet
can you
can
fit
hold
in that
wings.
closet?
if they're Nikes, they're very ergonomically shaped, so like you can really stack them properly.
Let me ask you this: what type of shoes aren't ergonomically shaped?
The ones that like you put your toes into, those like hiking ones.
Oh, clogs. Yeah.
No, you don't hike in clogs, man.
Crocs.
Sure you can.
Crocs. Hiking Crocs, obviously. I like to use socks just because they're form-fitting. My feet bleed a lot when I hike, but I think it's worth it. It's probably worth it.
It's good exercise.
Yeah. But yeah, she's seen with wings oftentimes. So the reason that's been told is so she couldn't leave Athens or wouldn't leave Athens. So when she's depicted with other gods, the idea is she can't leave, right? She's basically a prisoner. It's thinking about it now, it's kind of sad. Yeah, she's very sad. But yeah, she's also like the symbol for a lot of things in the world, like the U.S. military, I think, or the one of the sects of the military has her as a symbol.
Would be the Air Force.
I think that's
possibly?
the probably foot soldiers.
That would make sense.
She does a lot of victory. Obviously, the Olympics is a big thing. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Nope, never.
Have you heard of it? The Olympics.
The what?
So it's like every 4 years. It's
I think Hermes made those up, didn't he?
We're gonna do something for that, right?
What? The Olympics?
The 2019 Olympics.
There isn't a 2019 Olympics.
What are you talking about?
You should learn about the Olympics, man. They're really great. There's like athletes and drugs and lots of stories that you don't want to hear because you want to actually watch the fucking sport. But you're sitting through 4 hours of guys talking about goddamn Felicia Donaldson, who made it through hard times and is now an Olympian, and you're listening to that, and it's on tape delay because why would you air the sport live when it's definitely not going to be spoiled for you in the age of the internet? Who wants that, right? Anyway, that's the Olympics. And yeah, that's Nike the Goddess.
Now, are you talking about the 2020 Olympics?
Talking about every Olympic Games, yeah.
All I want to watch is the snowboarding. That's all I'm there for.
Any questions on Nike?
Yeah.
The brand or the goddess?
At what point did she start the brand?
That's a fun little misconception. She didn't start the brand. She was a co-founder and one of the early investors.
Who was the founder?
Some guy from Oregon.
Oregon? Seal?
Yeah. Seal.
What is
the singer Seal, yeah.
Nike's favorite shoe?
Probably the
question.
Adidas Samba.
The what?
Let's say she loves Sambas.
Sambas?
Yeah.
Not a Kubas?
Not a Kubas, no.
I've never met another living person that wore a Kubas. It's a lonely life.
It's probably for a reason.
How'd you find those then?
Well, I mean, they're custom made.
By you?
Are you homeless, Adam?
I wouldn't.
You need to tell us something?
Home is where the heart is, and I still have a heart, so.
Good retort.
That made plenty of sense. Where did she make these shoes before China came into the picture?
She didn't. Like I said, she was an early investor in the company.
Well, who made the shoes then?
Little kids, obviously. Why do you think they're made so well?
I think Waffle just like domed herself on my desk.
Because at the thought of the really awesome little children sewing your shoes together.
I mean, how much do you realistically want to pay for a pair of shoes?
That's true. Like, I don't want to spend $200 because of an adult who's on minimum wage sewing them.
Yeah.
That's good. They got to make their profit somehow.
Oh, I'm sure they make like 95% profit.
Yeah. I mean, what are we going to do? Ask them to make 90% instead? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Who do we think we are?
Basically, I back Nike on the whole, 90 to 95% profit.
I only buy
As you should. It's not America's children, so.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I only care about my own backyard.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The American way. Care about what you can touch.
Am I right, ladies?
Mythology was created through an early form of storytelling, so we like to spend a little bit of time delving into a tale that involves our subject. We will be a little bit more in-depth with analyzation to better understand the story, and each week you'll have a tale to bring home to tell your pair of shoes, your slave child making shoes.
You said
Or,
baking shoes?
Making.
Are you
shoes.
talking about like cookies?
No,
Like big
not,
clogs
I'm
made out of
talking
gingerbread?
I'm talking about shoes. The things you put on your foot.
You can make shoes out of gingerbread.
I guess. Those would be
Anyway,
tasty
you can make shoes out of anything, really.
What about water?
Sure. If you sit in water, that's a shoe.
If you put
Shoelaces on it.
I was gonna try to come up with a feasible way, but just sitting in water is way better of an answer.
If you put shoelaces on a lunchbox, that's a shoe.
That's a shoe. If your lunchbox has a shoelace on it, you got a shoe.
Alright, can you tell us the tale that we will be telling of tales?
I can. A little foreground. I did not find any decent stories that involve Nike. 'Cause she's really not talked about much, so I did make this up.
Let's see if we can tell.
Yeah. I haven't
Anyway.
yet. I've been surprised every time he says it.
Every time you were like, "This is a true story,"
Yeah.
I'm surprised there isn't a documentary that's this exact thing.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
Daybreak.
That's actually literally how this starts. Yes, daybreak.
God.
Calvin awakes in his foster home.
Calvin?
He's an orphan.
You said
Yes,
Calvin?
Don't interrupt. He's an orphan. Yeah, foster home. Calvin awakes. His friend Murph also awakes at the exact same time because they're on the same sleep cycle.
Merv?
Murph. Yeah.
Merv.
Murph. They go outside to play basketball. They're both terrible at it. For some reason, they keep kicking the ball. "This isn't a soccer field," one of their neighbors yells. Then they yell, "Kids are so dumb." Calvin sees a pair of Jordans. That's a Nike shoe, by the way.
What?
Jordans. You heard of those?
Air Jordans or normal ground Jordans?
Whichever Jordans you like.
Shit.
Anyway, Calvin sees a pair of Jordans strung up on a power line, right? Day later, it's raining. Calvin doesn't have shoes on now. Don't remember why. The reason is that he doesn't have the shoes. Anyway.
Who wrote this
He goes
story?
You'll find out later. He goes to get the Jordans that are strung up on the power line. So he climbs up, he grabs the shoes, bam, lightning strike. He gets struck because the power line, the shoes get zapped, he gets zapped, everyone gets zapped by lightning. It's a bad situation.
Everyone gets zapped?
Don't touch power lines and don't stand outside when there's lightning hitting that exact spot you're standing at. Okay. Anyway, next day, it's daytime. He puts on the shoes.
Wait, he's not dead?
Boom. No.
Is the power line dead?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. Anyway, he's got the shoes on now. He's got the J's on. Ain't no way you stepped on his J's. He's good as fuck at basketball now. Some might say he's like Mike.
Mike who?
Don't worry about it. His friend Murph goes, "You're good at basketball."
Murph?
Direct quote. Yeah. The neighbor goes, "Wow, he's so good at basketball now." He gets asked to play in the NBA as a kid, and he's schooling fools, right? Camera pans to his shoes. Nike logo illuminated. Goddess Nike comes down into the arena glowing. Everyone's like, "What the fuck is this shit?" She goes, "For all the Brits, it's pronounced Nike. The E is not silent. You Newcastle brown ale twats."
How do they pronounce it? Nike?
They pronounce it twats. They pronounce it Nike, yeah.
Are you serious?
They do, yeah, and it's super annoying.
They do not deserve Nikes.
End of movie, end of story. And there you have it. There's a story of Nike, the goddess.
That was more about Murph. And what was his name? Patrick?
Calvin. That was stolen in bits and pieces from what I could remember as a child from the Lil Bow Wow movie, Like Mike, in which Lil Bow Wow's character is a foster child who finds Michael Jordan's shoes and gets zapped in a power line and takes them, and then he gets to the NBA, and then one of his teammates in the NBA adopts him.
Wasn't that
because he's only like 13?
the same story as that Air Bud movie about basketball?
Pretty much. It's
Most likely.
The dog
almost
gets struck by
identical.
lightning, and then they have to find
I
him.
don't know.
becomes
I haven't seen it.
During a full moon, he becomes Michael Jordan.
The dog explodes into a million pieces. The daughter finds it. Just a pile
That'd
of
be a good ending.
gore and dog fur. Man,
And any questions about that story then? That 100% real story?
I mean, what orphanage was he at?
Just at like one near a basketball arena somewhere
I have
that Michael Jordan was at.
some concerns that this isn't a real story because
What are
you
you gonna
didn't
do
give
about
enough detail.
What are you going to do about it?
Fair enough. I mean, nothing.
You going to
I'm
bitch
gonna
out?
accept it. 'Cause it's all I have.
You better accept it.
One of the things people love to debate about is who would win in a fight? Wayne Rooney or Wayne Brady?
Well, I don't know
Wayne
who
Rooney.
either of those people are.
Wayne Rooney fucking like boxes and shit. Plus he's a little fucking Merseyside
Is
bitch.
Wayne Rooney the next big boy something?
Oh, right. That soccer player
I
or
was like,
something?
where are you referencing Wayne Rooney from?
Didn't you say that about some soccer player? How they're talking
I
about how he's a
did.
big boy or whatever?
This was months ago.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
right.
what I'm referencing.
I was like, how the fuck would you know anything to do with Wayne Rooney?
What was the other one?
I had to re-listen to them for the Mythies to find clips. Wayne Brady.
Who's he? The black guy from...
Whose line is it anyway?
Dude, I'm going to pick that guy because he's hilarious.
So in our Fight Club section, we indulge ourselves and talk about who would win in a mythological fight to the death. We will pit this week's subject against one we discussed in earlier podcasts, with our lead mythologist defending the creature. And Valia gets to challenge either myself or Dylan.
Choose wisely.
Before Valia chooses a
Contestant?
someone to challenge, would you be able to tell us the stats? So before we talked about them in the podcast, now we'll just remove those since they've been adding on time that's unnecessary. So Valia, would you be able to go over the stats for Nike as well as the specials and vulnerabilities?
I will gladly do that for you. Not for Dylan, but for you.
Oh,
I'll do that for
close
you.
my ears.
Yeah. So, strengths, she has wings, diplomacy, looking fine. Zeus as like a protector, which is cool. For weaknesses, she's a god but doesn't have extra power. Pretty much a human rights law violations. Yeah. Oh, and Me Too cases against sponsored athletes. That's a pretty big weakness.
She has that?
Yeah.
Like she claimed that someone harassed her?
No, she is Nike. Athletes that are sponsored by Nike, when they get into Me Too situations, Nike has to take a bit of the sting.
She's actually sponsoring these people?
Nike is, yes.
Personally, the female woman, Nike.
The corporation that she solely created and started and owns and heads and runs.
You've
Nike.
said earlier that
Well,
she
think
was
you
an
can
early
verify
investor. She's not actually the company.
I don't think you can verify that. This is audio until you can't rewind it. I don't think you can verify what I said.
Hey,
You're right.
who started this company? George Ottoman or something?
I think it was Nike, the goddess. George Ottoman? What kind of fucking name is that?
It's the man who invented the Ottoman.
George Otterman?
Otterman.
The man who invented the otter?
He came up with the otter.
All right, you want to go over the stats quick?
I will gladly do that. So we got tres. That's 3 for you Americanos for strength. Speed is 9.
Which is
Intelligence.
what's
Which is a
nueve?
9.
It's 9. I figured I'd kind of roll with it, Intelligence is 7. Durability is another 9.
11?
9.
What does that mean?
Which is a total of 28. Which is how many years old a 28-year-old is.
At the beginning or the end of their life?
When they're 28. So if you were born in, I believe, 1990, you'd be 28 right around now.
Depends when my birthday is.
Depends when your birthday is. Actually, I think you would be, because it's 2019. So if you were born in 1990, you would have to be 28 right now, right?
Unless your birthday was on January 1st.
Yeah, you
Or,
dumbass.
for the listeners,
You fucking George
anywhere
Rabbit.
between the January 1st and 7th.
Of Maths and Men is coming back.
Get ready for season 2, where we do more math than you could possibly imagine.
Quick, what's 7 plus 7?
12!
15.
No! 13!
One of you's right. At some point. We'll figure
we
that out
average our
later.
answers.
Yeah.
Alright, and will you be challenging myself or Dylan?
I think I'm gonna give a
Choose
big
wisely.
old pooper. Do you
Doesn't
want to
matter to
moderate
me.
Adam?
I'm good with that.
I can.
All right, we'll let Adam go so he can properly tell us rules.
Alright. We simplified the Fight Club a little bit, so hopefully it'll go faster. But it's all behind the scenes stuff, so nothing that you guys need to know about. And there are definitely no human rights violations occurring with this Fight
Wow.
Club.
Except Dylan's face.
Except that
High five.
haircut.
Alright.
For anyone listening at home, looks like Volley's head fucked. An electric razor.
That's a good diss. That's a Fresh Prince level diss.
He said that on that show.
I don't know, but
Freddie Prinze
sounds
Jr.
like he would definitely say that on the show if it was still around.
That was Freddie Prinze Jr. in that show, right?
He'd be like, Uncle Phil, blah blah blah, something about a razor. It was Freddie Prinze Jr. Yeah.
All right.
I knife slice
Okay.
Dylan's throat.
We are going to do the fight between two non-fighters. So, a couple of weeks back, we talked about Themis, who was a goddess of justice and a tightness. And she will be Dylan's champion.
Did you say and
Did
the
you say-
tightness?
And a tightness.
I don't.
Oh, a
Titaness.
titaness.
Oh, okay.
Like a female
I was like,
titan.
what? She's the tightest guy.
She's toy.
She is very tight.
Themis has a strength of 4, a speed of 5, an intelligence of 10, and a durability of 10, for a grand total of 29, just 1 point higher than Nike. She has no fighting abilities, but she's very good at balancing things, and she has a sword that she uses for fairness.
What type of fairness are we talking here?
Oh, you know, like justice and fairness.
Il justica.
What?
That means the justice in a language that probably doesn't exist. But it sounds Spanish. Or
Alright.
Italian.
Choose a number between 1 and 20.
20.
Fucking course you would.
10.
Yeah, it's Valia.
Damn.
All right,
Very
get
well
us
played.
started, Nike. In this fight. Oh, I need to set a scene.
Yes, you do, bud.
The sound of squeaking reverberates through your brain. Squeak, 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 squeak,
Is this a
squeak.
mouse?
Squeak, squeak, squeak. No, it is shoes. Basketball shoes on a basketball court. But not just any
Oh,
basketball
do we have
court.
an audio clip of that? Let's
Of
get
what?
an audio clip of that, of sound of shoes squeaking on a basketball court.
Yeah, no problem. Squeak, 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 squeak.
Damn, I'm
squeak.
glad we're still using the soundboard.
Yeah, we have that soundboard still. It's great. Oddly, they had that as an answer, as an option.
Mouse squeaking?
No, shoes squeaking on the gym floor because you
Linoleum?
are in a high school gym
Or hardwood?
with 12 different middle schoolers throwing balls at baskets. I'd say shooting baskets, but they're so bad at it that they're just like not close to actually scoring, and they're all playing and whatnot. And one door to the women's locker room opens up, and out walks Nike
Bum, bum,
in
bum,
some
bum, bum, bum,
fresh Jordans. And then the other door opens, which is not to a locker room. It's actually from the outside. And in walks,
Y'all
with
ready for this?
sun shining behind her, Themis. Y'all ready for this? Fight!
But
Alright, I grab one of the dodgeballs.
And,
on that first,
It's
Let's dodge.
Nike starts it out.
Alright, I grab
one of the dodgeballs.
and say, let's dodge.
And I grab one of the dodgeballs and go, yeah, ready for this? And then I fly up into the air, right, with my wings. Like, I'm probably, like, I'm touching the ceiling of this gymnasium, right? And, I'm in the air, and then I basically fly over the top of Themis and just, like, I don't forcefully throw the dodgeball. I just drop it out of my hands in an attempt of it, like, just hitting her in the head and just bop, bop. You know?
Dodge.
I'm going to
wait.
say...
Catch.
You're going to try to catch it?
I'm going to catch that ball.
Oh, alright. So Nike flies up carrying this dodgeball, and she kind of air bombs, just drops it, and it flies, and it has like that curved trajectory because it's still carrying the momentum of the flight over, and smack right in the face of Themis. Themis now kind of has a red mark.
Does that
a
count
little
as a
bit
catch?
where the ball hit. Are you gonna try to catch it? Is that what you're doing?
Hell yeah, if I catch it, he's out. She's out.
So you try to catch it, and it goes right through your hands and drops to the ground. Unfortunately, you're the one who's out. So
Damn.
now, not only are your tears welling up a little bit because your nose got hit, like it wasn't super painful, but that smacked the nose, it's just welling up your eyes a little.
Yeah, that was...
You now have to go stand over by the other kids who got out in dodgeball.
I say to Themis, "You're out, Four Eyes."
Do I have 4 eyes? I thought I would wear like a blindfold usually.
I was quoting Dodgeball.
The movie
Oh.
Dodgeball?
Yeah.
An underdog story?
Yeah. Glad we cleared that up.
All right. What else would you like to do for your turn?
No, that was it. I dropped the ball in an attempt to smash her face.
And then Themis's turn was trying to catch it to make you have to go out, but now Themis is in the out, so now it's back to
I
Oh,
challenge.
it's back to me now? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Sweet. So I'm still in the air, right, fluttering my pretty wings, and I just realized. Never mind. So yeah, I'm still in the air, fluttering my pretty wings, and I like swoop down in an attempt to like spear Themis, and then like push her like spear her into the wall of this gymnasium. And the wall is hard in a gym. Like, you guys remember this. Like, it's those fucking painted bricks or whatever. Like, spear the shit out of her into that wall.
You swing down, and you do
Sweet
pretty
cherry.
much just that. You slam her against the wall as she's waiting to get back into dodgeball, and the wall just cracks behind. Now all of the middle schoolers really see that this isn't any more of a dodgeball fight. This seems to be a real fight, and there's some anger getting thrown around. So they all like kind of crowd in a circle, and they're like all chanting, "Fight! fight as...
Can they be Hispanic? Can these like middle schoolers be Hispanic?
How do you say fight in Hispanicness?
I do not know. Let's look it up. Oops, not TransUnion. Google Auto did that. You know what I'm talking about. Translate for me. Lucha.
I mean, yeah, it does. That makes sense.
What does adore mean?
The word adore in English?
As in luchador.
It probably means fighter.
Oh, shit.
It means fighter. Calling that, bud.
See?
All right, with
All right,
speed.
so you're kind of like, you're not super harmed. It hurt, but you're like stuck in the wall a little bit, Themis.
All right, with some speed,
this wing lady.
I pick up a middle schooler and chuck it at Nike.
I attempt to just, like, as the middle schooler's flying at me, I try to smack its face so it, like, changes direction.
Does it say, "Ay"?
Ay.
Dios dio. Okay.
Flip those.
God,
bud.
me.
Alright, so you grab the nearest middle schooler who's chanting lucha, 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 and you chuck it at I'm not gonna assume gender, so you chuck it at Themet or at Nike, and Nike tries to slap it out of the way, and it doesn't really work because using your wrist and hand to move a middle schooler who probably weighs at least 100 pounds doesn't really work well. So it hurts your wrist, Nike, and a middle schooler slams into you, making you fall to the ground. But you're not super injured, just kind of like a little soreness in your wrist, and you're back on
Is
your
the middle
feet pretty
schooler
quick.
a male or a female?
I'm not assuming gender.
We don't want to say it.
Okay.
It's not the
Gotcha.
place for this.
So I get back up and I find, you know those like really heavy medicine balls that you work out with? I found one of those in the gymnasium, and I basically try to just throw it as hard, like basketball style pass, like as hard as I can from the chest into Themis in an attempt to get her to like catch it in the stomach and be hurt.
You ever play that game Lethal League? I do that with the sword. I just hit the medicine ball back with force.
You like slice it?
No, I turned my blade sideways and just baseball bat this medicine ball with strength.
So you launch the ball at Themis, and Themis tries to swing her sword, swings it too far or too quick, or early basically. Also didn't move out of the way of the ball to swing it, so the ball's coming at her as she hits it with the sword. The sword breaks in half from the medicine ball, and the medicine ball hits her in the chest as the blade stabs her into the shoulder, and she falls backwards.
Oof.
A middle schooler taunts Themis, saying, "Get up, you pansy! Fight!"
I say,
Can one of them go, swing better?
I say, call Amber Lamps.
Call an ambulance.
Amber Lamps.
He ignores you, or she.
You fucking kids.
Themis, what
This
would you
is
like
what's
to
wrong
do?
with your generation.
On your phones all day, not even helping a woman? Themis, what would you like to do?
So I have a sword in my stomach?
It's in your shoulder.
Well, shit. I'm going to take out this sword and toss it with speed plus strength. I'm going to toss it. Actually, hold on. I'm going to grab another middle schooler, the one that didn't help me, and chuck him at Nike as a distraction. And then behind this middle schooler, I'm going to toss the sword so it doesn't see it coming, or she doesn't see it coming.
So here's my move, right? So as this middle schooler is flying at me flat, I attempt to catch it and do a spin turn using its own momentum, the Martian style where they go around the Earth. So using the schooler's own momentum, spin, chuck it back into the sword, basically impaling this motherfucker onto the sword. And remember, this is a child.
Okay, good. I don't get impaled.
So you see this middle schooler coming at you, Nike. Nike grabs the middle schooler, spins around using the momentum, and chucks the middle schooler. And the middle schooler flies back and hits Themis in the face. You feel like you did well until you realize protruding from your chest is the sword blade. And you look down and you're like, this isn't fair. I'm the goddess of victory. And then Themis replies, I control fairness with my fair sword. And then Nike drops dead.
And I go, should have dodged. Should have just dodged.
Bitch. You trick bitch.
Alright, and the winner is Themis.
Sick,
barely.
Bro.
She was very brutally beat up, but she survived to roll a killing blow.
Did any middle schoolers die during this?
Probably 2 or 3.
Damn.
Murderers row over here, am I right,
No
fellas?
kidding. Was this in Mexico?
Y'all ready for this?
It was just a Hispanic high school.
Damn.
It was like in southern LA by the border, you know. We go like, Órale, Holmes.
Essay,
Going on, vato?
etc.
You going to Tijuana later? You know, some chocolate or something. Some tortillas, Juan's. You know,
What was the last thing?
some tortillas at Juan's.
What's that word?
Juan.
Yeah.
It's just a guy, you know, who makes tortillas.
Juan's?
You know, yeah, his name is Juan. Yeah, some tortillas at Juan's. You know, Juan's making tortillas, so you know, go get some at his place. You know, what say, vato?
Today we learned about Nike. We learned that Nike is the goddess of victory, as well as other things like shoes. Maybe early investor in the Nike company, but also maybe not the owner, but also might be. That wasn't very clear. There was a great tale about Murph and Kelvin, and one of them found shoes, got electrocuted, and became a superstar. And we found out that Themis and Nike, in their fight, Themis would come out victorious because of her fair sword. You can listen to this episode and more on our website.
Aren't we listening to this episode right now?
Yeah, but you can listen to this episode again and more at our website at mythsandmen.com. On that website, there are other episodes. There are this episode, and there's a wiki, which has a lot of stuff in it.
You guys think the Nike.com domain is available for us to redirect from?
Oh, we should get that.
Yeah.
Dylan, check.
NormanGander.com is a place where you can go and see all the latest news on Nike shoes and pick up some funky fresh beats while you're at it from our SoundCloud.
If you've enjoyed what you've heard and think we did a good job in giving you a laugh or two, please take a moment to give us a rating and review so that more people can find this podcast. And not only that, but from now until the end of January, if you leave a rating and review on either Stitcher or iTunes, you are going to be eligible to possibly win merch. That's right, we have t-shirts that you can find by going to store.mythsandmen.com. But if you would want to know where to find us on iTunes or Stitcher, we have funkadelic links for that too by going to itunes.mythsandmen.com or stitcher.mythsandmen.com. And you can also just tell your friends by word of mouth. It won't get you merch, but it might make you a friend more. So,
What?
Man, I don't know what's going on anymore.
I'm getting worse at these.
That was the best outro.
For updated news, follow us on Twitter at Myths and Men. And you can also go to Facebook because we have an Of Myths and Men page there.
What about SoundCloud?
No, we don't have that.
We'll just put audio bits, like little parts of our podcast up on SoundCloud.
Special
We
guest
have a Reddit.
Skrillex next week.
Yeah.
If you have a suggestion for a creature we should talk about, you can contact us through our website or leave a suggestion in your review. You can also tweet us or post on the Facebook, I guess, too. We look at all those things, and by we, I mean I do. And we hope to see you next week when we talk about something else.
Yay.
The music you heard on this podcast is called Call to Adventure by Kevin MacLeod from Incompetech.com. It is licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license.
I did eat one of the coals one time by accident.
What?
That yeah. So this was a long time ago because these things come in like a gold package. It looks like a fancy chocolate, right? These coals, and I took one out thinking like, oh, this looks like some tasty chocolate, like a party, and I bite into it, and I'm like, this is some fucking disgusting chocolate. And then I just see someone like putting it onto the hookah to like set it on fire.
Did you finish?
I'm like, oh, I did not. I think I swallowed like little bits of dust, but I didn't swallow the whole thing. And I was like, holy shit.
How old were
That
you?
would have been bad. This was like 4 years ago.
That's funny.
I got a sweet tooth, man. Gotta get that chocolate.
Yeah. Man, that's funny.